Gotcha. Well,
But I appreciate you doing this. This is really great.
absolutely. Well, we're going to give some folks some time to jump on and see if there's any trouble, but we'll say hi to some folks. Carrie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm double timing here.
Okay. We appreciate that. Eric, good morning. I can't tell if he's trying to unmute. There he goes.
There we go. Hello.
How are you?
It's early. I am a night owl.
Where are you right now?
I live in the Richmond, Virginia area.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, glad you're here. You have a very dark, like, aura behind, like it's all black behind you. So, but glad you're here. Stacy, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Megan, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having this. I do have to jump off at 10:30 for another call, but I wanted to pop in and say hi.
Unacceptable.
Oh,
Have to be here for the entire thing.
darn it.
Just kidding. Let's see. Zach, spoke to you a couple days ago. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. Glad you're here. And Miss Amy from Ames.
Good morning. Hi, Matt. Hi, everyone.
It's good to see you.
Too.
Hey, Ty, thanks for joining in. How are you?
Feeling good.
Good.
For having us.
Let's see. Lisa, how are you? Trying to find a mute.
Good. How are you guys? Sorry, I was a little late hopping on there. Zoom giving me some issues.
That's okay. We've got another Lisa also, Lisa Presley.
Nice.
Lower left hand.
Hello, good morning. I'm sorry. Just figuring out my mute button.
No worries at all.
Thanks for having this.
No problem. I always love seeing, well, I don't love it, but it's kind of interesting to see the way the eyes move, like when you're trying to find the mute. Like I can always tell when people are trying to unmute, so it's all good. Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. I can't find I don't use Zoom very often, and I can't find the blur thing. So welcome to my home. Thanks everybody for joining me here.
Welcome to your TED Talk. It's all good.
Yeah. If you see a cat, yeah.
Hey, if COVID has taught us nothing, it's that we're going to have cats and dogs and kids and all kinds.
They like to join in. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for doing this, Matt. Appreciate it. And hi, Stacy. I see you there.
Hi. Long time no see.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's not just me. I know a lot of people on here, but Frank James has also been the instigator of this as well. So we'll get him to introduce himself in just a little bit. So I want to just say hello to the people that are here, and then I see a lot of people are joining us without your camera, and that's totally fine. If you are able to join on the camera, then we'd love to see you, but totally understand if it's not possible. Brad, you just turned on your video. How are you?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah. Glad. Thanks for letting me come in and just be supportive here. So
Of course. That's why we're here. Now I have two Franks now.
Because I'm having technology woes.
Oh, I see. We all understand that. Cool. Well, we have some other folks that have joined, and it looks like they're on. Like I said, not on video, but that's okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump in with some introductions. First of all, hey, there's Sherry. How are you, Sherry?
Doing well. Hope you guys are too. It's been a long while there since I seen you, Matt.
I know, but glad you're
and
here.
Frank even longer.
I know, right?
I know. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Well, let's go ahead and kind of jump in and do some introductions of people. I know I got to say hello to some folks, but Frank, let's start with you. If people don't know Frank, you should. He's an amazing human being. He's the one that kind of kick this off, he sent me a text at like 6 o'clock in the morning and said, "Hey, what can we do to help? We see all these terminations coming through. So what can we do to help the industry?" So this was as much his brainstorm as it was mine. So Frank, why don't you go ahead and say hello?
Good morning, everybody. I do see some familiar faces, and it's very, very exciting to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Frank, and my motto in life is to make an impact every day. My day-to-day job is I manage an amusement park as the director of operations in Texas. I've been in the industry for a really long time. But outside of that, I just like meeting new people and getting them out of their heads and into action. I'm a leadership coach, I'm an author, and I'm an encourager. I literally just like to encourage people. So the devastation that came across my screen, the amount of phone calls I got when this whole thing went down, I was like, we have to do something. So we are just here to support in any way we can. We've been working on this for about a week now, and we are honestly here to serve you. Whatever you need from us today, we are here for that reason. This isn't us giving you a lecture. This is us supporting you however we can. So thank you for being here, and I'm very, very happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Frank. Well, let's go ahead and do some introductions around the room. So, Melanie, you're in my upper left-hand corner, so we're going to start with you. So, I know there are people here that are just here to support, or I shouldn't say just here to support. They're here to support in any way they can, whether it's through helping people with resumes or LinkedIn or just, here to offer some kind words. So, if you could share, like if you are on a employment journey or if you're here to support, that would be amazing. So Melanie, go ahead and take it away.
So, hey, Melanie Baker. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can probably tell by the accent. So the good old South, but formerly with Anakista Theme Park, which is in Gatlinburg. And so I'm here to support you guys. I will let's see, what is it? Until it's my turn, I will clap for everyone else. So I'm doing some cool freelance work in recruiting because I love and specialize in hospitality and property management. So I've gotten a couple of freelance gigs and it's been great. Just networking on LinkedIn is just so important. Word of advice, just from me personally, that I've noticed an uptick is just invest in premium. It's chaotic right now. I was telling Matt, it's, we scroll and then all of a sudden it's like, what is happening? And, I think the most important thing we can do is connect with each other, because here's the thing, you go and apply for LinkedIn jobs and you are one of hundreds. So I feel like the most important thing here is to get in touch with each other and build our own little family here and network to, instead of, if you have a role posted at your park, or you're going to post a role, instead of posting it, connect here first and say, hey, who in my immediate family here can I connect with, versus putting it out there. Then you're pummeled, as a recruiter. Any one role I would post, I would get over 100 resumes. It's so overwhelming. So on the recruiter side of things, it feels it's overwhelming on that side of it as well. So I can't stress enough. I've gotten a lot of connections and feedback from folks, just people that impacted me. I mean, I'm like reaching out to Matt, reaching out to Greg, reaching out to Brian. I mean, I'm thinking of all these people that have impacted my life over the last few years that just made a positive impact on me. Hey, it's me. I'm looking for a new adventure, and leave it at that. Just be smart about your networking. That's my 2 cents for the day, and happy to chat offline as well, so I don't take up all the time. But it's Mel, East Tennessee.
Awesome. And Mel, can you put your email in the chat?
Sure.
And for anybody, if you're wanting to connect more offline, go ahead and put your contact information or your LinkedIn or whatever you want to put in there, and we'll be sure that gets out to the people that were on this call. So whoever puts stuff in here, we'll send something out to. Awesome. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Carrie, how about you? while you're double timing.
Yeah. So my name's Carrie. I was an operator for about 12 years, ironically, for Six Flags at the beginning, and kind of moved into hotel resort operations that had to do with attraction facilities. I went over to Dubai for 2 years and did some training over there for one of the lifeguard agencies. And then I ultimately found my way into software that supports the attraction industry. So if you guys are familiar with software companies, they oftentimes do layoffs. It's very, very normal. And so if you guys follow me on LinkedIn and or if you want to, I've written kind of my own version of like life after I got laid off recently. It's kind of raw. There's a few curse words with some asterisks, so I apologize about that. But there is just like a very realness to some of the emotional roller coasters that you guys might be finding yourselves in. So I am here to support, have kind of found myself on the other side of that journey relatively quickly. And it was through building a network at shows like IAPA and other, attraction communities that I very quickly found myself into reemployment. But I also at the same time built a company for myself so that I never had to feel that powerless, I guess. In my own journey of feeling laid off, I had given everything to a company and then it wasn't my decision to depart. So I absolutely know how that feels. And yeah, so I built a company that really is just helping attraction leaders come together. Right now it has a very heavy focus on AI. So if you guys have not really dabbled in it, if you haven't learned it yet, I did offer up anybody impacted by this most recent round of, industry layoffs that they could go and take like a really basic AI course through my channel over there for free. Just want to help out where I can. And I definitely had some really great advice when I was in that phase of my employment journey. So yeah, if I can be helpful at all, please reach out to me. I'll add my stuff into the chat here in a second, but thanks, Matt.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. We appreciate it. Eric, how about you? Yep.
You caught me. I was off looking for some of my links.
No worries.
I am not directly involved in this round of layoffs, but tangentially, my most recent job has been at a park with a contractor. I specialize in arcade stuff. I've been in the business for about 30 years, and people have already been mentioning IAPA, and that is such a valuable thing. I've been trying to go for years. I just found out that I don't get to speak this year, but I actually, I finally was on that side of the stage a couple of years ago. I got to do a talk, so I feel like I'm finally part of the club. But I'm looking for a new thing myself. My current job is absolutely in flux right now. I don't even know how it's going, but I've been looking for something better. I've been way underemployed for many years, and most of my work has been as a contractor. I've done a lot of installations. My favorite jobs that I've had over the years, I worked on and off for about 6-7 years with Creative Works. I worked with Intercard for a year and a half. I've done some jobs for a small distributor called Planet Arcade. I really like the traveling thing, so I'm looking for a new thing, but not a lot in the area that I'm at, but I am a road warrior. I've gotten used to working out of a suitcase and a Pelican case, and I've posted recently that, oh man, the road's been calling. My passport is weeping. I'm ready to go. So I'm looking for opportunities, and I'm I can be somewhere in a few days' notice, really helping people do installations and repairs. And I know that there are people out there that need the skills that I have. I'm just not in a great market for it locally. So I'm keeping my eyes out. I saw this pop up and I'm like, okay, I'm not quite the target of this particular instance, but I absolutely would like to hear what some, opportunities are and some resources, so that's what's put me here today.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you, Eric. And if I had anything for you to do, I'd bring you up here to North Carolina, but I don't have any arcades in my house. So unfortunately, I'd like to get you on the road, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Eric. Stacy Kelly, you're up next.
This is what I did my whole life. I started at 16. I'm probably one of those stories where, started my summer job in the hospitality industry. And, I just got hooked in, and I started at Six Flags Astroworld in Houston. They closed in 2005. Schlitterbahn opened up in Galveston. So it was a great opportunity. They actually did a job fair when we were closing. They were hiring. And I just got hooked. I moved up rather quickly because I was already seasoned. Cedar Fair acquired us in 2019. So I survived that. And so, things were great. Took a job position change at that. But I was okay with it. I have a great family and things like that. So it kind of worked with me and what I need. I've worked with some people on here, many people on here that are great people and who have, just been great to me over the years. And it was really a shock. I wore many hats over the years where I've done more really my role, as many of us do. Many things in this industry that aren't really our role. But so it's just kind of a shocker. I've been kind of quiet on the LinkedIn front just because it's been very emotional for me. So I definitely am on the employment journey. I'm trying to find something, but this is what I've done my whole life. So it's kind of like trying to put that into like what we would call real life, resume kind of thing. So I really need help on that end because if there's not something for me in this, in our industry, I'm trying to get that, to explain to people what you do in the hospitality industry versus, kind of thing. They don't always understand. My dad still doesn't understand what I did or do, kind of thing. He thinks when the park's closed, well, what do? Do you just sit there? And it's like, no, that's the busiest time ever. So, he still doesn't understand that, but that's okay. So it's just like trying to get my resume up to date and that kind of stuff. So it's just been really hard. It's 34 years in the industry, which is a lot. And I really have accomplished a lot. I think what got me through Saturday, because it was like the perfect storm for me. We had a rainstorm in Texas, so the park was delayed opening. We had a power outage that same morning, so everything went down. Then our network, it went down as well. So I got all that up, and then I got let go within minutes. So I literally left my team. My person who works for me or did work for me, she was on vacation. So my team was literally left there without any direction. So, but they're awesome. I've taught them well, so they're doing great. And so I just wish the best for them. But it's just been a little emotional because it's 34 years in an industry that I love, and I hate it. I wouldn't have walked away willingly because it's what I love to do. And so I started with Six Flags. I ended with Six Flags, and I just can't wait to see what my next journey is, because I know it's not over, and I really appreciate what you've put together and the people that have come together. There's a lot of amazing people out there. I know there's a lot of leadership, a lot of knowledge that has just walked away from this industry because they were forced to. And so I'm just, going to see what's out there for me. So thank you for letting me tell my little story.
Of course. That's why we're here, Stacy. Thank you so much for that. One thing I will say, and I definitely want to get to, hear everybody else's story, but what you say about what can apply from the attractions industry to other industries. I think there's a couple people on the call that can help make that connection, but also, don't give up on this industry either. I think that's one thing I'd like to say. Of course.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's my passion. I love it. I wouldn't have been in it for 34 years if I didn't love it. So yes, it's my passion.
Thank you, Stacy. Megan, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I don't want to take up too much time because I want everybody to be able to share, but I've luckily not been laid off. I'm just here to support. So I love this industry. Matt knows this. I was an intern for the Attraction Pros, was previously laid off from Disney during COVID. So I know what it feels like and it's terrible. So I just want to be here to support and listen or share any resources that I can. I'm very much involved in IAPA as a speaker, a member of the Manufacturers and Suppliers Committee, the IAPA Foundation, and someone that's just, generally pretty well connected. So if there's anything I can do, I'll drop my LinkedIn there and please feel free to reach out and I'll try to support however I can.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Megan. And I know you have to drop off, so I appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. Zach, you're up.
Hi, I'm Zach. Been in the industry for about 10 years now, most recently at Valley Fair Amusement Park. Six Flags layoffs as well, but looking for kind of new stuff in the Twin Cities area currently.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you, Zach. Amy.
Hi, sorry, I'm taking notes as people are talking.
Love it. Love it.
Hi, I'm Amy Lowenstein. I'm the executive director of Ames International, but I've been in the industry since I was 16. I grew up through Six Flags, left there as a director of administration. So I was HR, safety, security. I actually transitioned and went to the family entertainment center side. So Stacy, that was a comment I was going to make is take a look at the FEC side because so much of that experience is transferable and that sector is growing right now. So take a look at those. Keep that in mind because very transferable skills. And a lot of those sectors that are really taking off. But I'm really just here to be support. I transitioned out of FEC to Ames, and I wanted to be here too because I get people who call me and say, "Hey, do you know of anybody who has this type of skill?" So I'm just here to be support. I've been HR as well. I know we've got some recruiters on here, but if I can be support to read resumes, I'm happy to help any way I can. So.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Amy. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. All right, Ty, you're up.
Yes. Hi. Hello. My name is Ty Vanderstappen. I'm currently with Carnival Cruise Line, but I work with Legoland, Hershey Park, and American Dream Mall. I'm also on the board of directors for the National Association of Amusement Ride Safety Officials. So just here, more of a support in nature. I'll put my email in the inbox if anyone wants to reach out or get my opinion on any things. I haven't had the experience of these kind of layoffs, but a lot of people that I know in the industry, guys are dealing with it and seeing how it affects not just one company, but we have the round of entertainment with Merlin Entertainments and maybe with some other down the pipeline with some other mergers that recently happened. So I definitely want to be supportive of those in our industry, and hopefully people can find jobs either within or, like me, I've transitioned out of the operations aspect, but used my skills that I learned there to now support operations and do something else. So
awesome.
Good.
Thank you, Ty. And I'm glad that you're here representing the cruise industry as well, because I think that's another sort of adjacent industry to us, entertainment, hospitality, that maybe, that seasoned theme park operator doesn't think of as an avenue.
Yeah, and we're definitely, if you don't think about it, I've got 3 Mauer Spike coasters. Disney's adding one on their new ship. A lot of Royal Caribbean ships have carousel and bumper cars. We've all got ropes courses and water slides. So there's definitely a need from the industry, so a certain aspect of people having the theme park or water park operation and how can we apply those standards to our ships.
Excellent.
So that was part of the reason I got my initial job with Carnival, was because I had that theme park experience.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Ty. Appreciate it. Lisa Presley.
I promise I know how to use video chat. I'm also not used to Zoom as much, but thanks for having me. I don't know many of you. Stacy, I love seeing a face I know, although I hate to be in this group with you, but again, I'm just here to listen and learn and really take you guys up on your offer. I just ran across this on LinkedIn, and I also have not kept up with my LinkedIn or my resume. I am terrible about that, getting too comfortable. And I typed it up, but I'll give a little brief. I was with Schlitterbahn Parks for cumulatively 24 years. And in the creative world, so graphic design, I had about a 15-year stint as creative director when we had, 5 parks and several resorts. And like Stacy, I can, shake my head on so many things you said. I love the industry. I'm thankful and know that I can likely find something. I'm trying to be positive about being able to find something with my skill set, even if it's somewhere else. But I'm open and just appreciative to hear all you guys talk about it and put a little bit of a damper on what's a hugely emotional thing and to give some perspective. It's hard to kind of tend to get into yourself and about how horrible it is, and it is, but I appreciate having, my view opened up. So thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. And, you mentioned emotion. A couple of other people have as well. And I think, as Melanie said, like getting together with a group of people and being able to tap into that network is a great way to kind of let that emotion out, and don't deny the emotion, because that's such an important part of our journey as a human being. So thank you for that, Lisa. Kelly.
Button. Hi. Hi. My name's Kelly Bullis. I was not impacted by the most recent layoff. And I'm sorry, I have bad news because I've actually been laid off for quite some time. So I have the dubious distinction of having been laid off from the same company twice. It's important to make your mark where you can. It's been about a year for me. And I've worked in operations for many years. I am also, like Stacy, decades into this industry, but like Carrie, I was working for a software company supporting the industry, and you can get a hint because there's a big sign behind me that says ticket. So just take that. Yeah. So what I'm here for support to people who are recently here. That's, I've been there, I get it. But also looking for my permanent role. I've been lucky to do a little bit of consulting work that I get from networking. The networking part is so important. My request to everyone here would be that I'm going to put I'll put my LinkedIn link in the chat. I do post on LinkedIn. Every interview I've gotten since I was laid off has been because of a connection, not because of an application. Applications are easy applies. That's just for filing unemployment, guys. Seriously. Nobody's going to contact you on an easy apply. You need to know people, and you do know people because you've done this for a long time. And then, since I don't want to take up too much time, I do talk a lot. This is a grieving process, and it is absolutely, no one died, but it doesn't mean you're not grieving. I loved my job. I loved my job, and I still miss it. See, I'm literally getting emotional just talking about it. I don't want to leave this industry. I don't intend to leave this industry. I love it, and most of the time it loves me back. But let yourself grieve, and that's okay. And it's okay to cry about it, and you'll go through it. You're going to be furious at times. You're going to be so mad. I do body combat almost every day. That's mixed martial arts. Y'all, I have punched some people imaginary, right? It's just find something to occupy your time when you're not doom scrolling LinkedIn, but you're going to be angry. You're going to be sad. You're going to be depressed. These things are all going to happen. And then eventually you're going to get over it. You just are, but it's a process.
Thank you
I
so
want to
much.
jump in
Yeah, go ahead.
really quick here.
Please.
And I just want to make sure, and I think we all do understand this, but I want you guys to know that this is not, we are not trying to paint a peaches and rainbows and sweet cream picture. Like, this sucks. Like, this is hard, it's difficult. And I want you guys, if you feel like you need to get on here and just say some things, that's what we're here for. So don't be afraid to show up authentically you, because this is difficult.
His one account froze and he's still talking. There he is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just want you guys to know that we are truly here for that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Frank. And thank you, Kelly. It actually reminds me of a conversation I had a couple of days ago with someone who is actually still at one of the parks that had a lot of layoffs. And he's got that survivor's guilt. And he got emotional on the call. And, speaking of kind of letting it out, he kind of started to tear up a couple times, and I could tell he was holding it back. And I said, get out on a roller coaster and just scream your head off. Like, what better therapy is there than roller coaster therapy?
That's a great idea. Yeah. You got to get it out. And everything you're feeling, it's valid. Validate your feelings, right? Don't let anybody tell you it's not a big deal. What do they know? It's a big deal. And survivor's guilt is a thing.
It is.
And these connections, you haven't lost just your job. You lost, you think you lost friends. You're going to find out who your true friends are. Sorry. It's a hard way to find out, but you're going to find out. I still have a ton of connections who are supporting me. Carrie is one of the most supportive people you'll ever find. So you'll find some of that, and you'll be grieving those relationships as well. And that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you again, Kelly. Really appreciate it. Lisa.
So similar to Stacy's story, I actually started in the theme park industry in Denver in 1996 at Elitch Gardens, and then it became Six Flags and went through kind of that whole restructuring process into Premier. When COVID hit, so I had started there in 1996 as a seasonal kind of first thing, kind of summer job. Worked my way up from sales coordinator to sales manager to sales rep, special events. Really developed a lot of my experience in the industry in Denver. 2020 course hit, theme park wasn't opening. My position as group sales manager was eliminated and still never came back to this day. So I had experienced my first kind of elimination at that point. And then similar to Amy, you had mentioned going to more family entertainment centers, which I actually took a job in Texas, moved down to Texas, took that, moved through the ranks really fast, became corporate, new position created recently in November. And then about mid-May, position was eliminated. So now twice this has happened. And I think, the one thing that I've said that I've been in, like all of us, we've been in this industry a long time. And the one thing that I can say that no one from the outside of this industry seems to understand the relationship that is here. And that they're like, no, we don't really understand that you had all these connections and you have this network and you have this bond and you have a call like this. Like, nobody understands it. And I think that is just something that it's such a tight knit. It doesn't matter where you're at. Maybe if you're on a cruise or if you're on a water park, theme park, entertainment center, like, it doesn't matter. Everybody is very strong and supportive of each other. So, and it's horrible. It absolutely sucks. And I'm actually in the process, I think, of starting my own company. I've filed already for my LLC, already developed my website yesterday and my logo. And I'm at a point where I'm going to try that, but still stay, very much connected in the industry and still have that support. So I just want to say thank you guys for putting that together, because, when it first hit in COVID, it was everyone dispersed. Nobody would reach out. Everyone was alone. My old counterparts from Six Flags actually would put together a monthly call just so we would have a face-to-face interaction with each other, even though we hadn't worked together for a really long time. So, this is just a great opportunity. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. And be sure to put all your new business stuff in the chat for us so we can follow you and support you in any way we can.
As soon as I get everything up and going, it'll be on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Love it. All right. Brad, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brad Ziegler. I'm here to basically tell you all I've been there. I was the safety manager at Six Flags here in St. Louis up until December of 21, when Six Flags had another restructuring. They had a new CEO, and there was a mass company-wide thing going on. And the double whammy hit me because it was a week before Christmas. So what better Christmas present do you get than, being out of the job? And, and so I'm here to tell you, I'm here to encourage you that there are jobs outside of the industry as well. I love the industry, don't get me wrong. But when I got to searching and realized my family situation and how things were, there wasn't going to be a lot of room for me to be able to step into another role as a safety or risk person in this industry without having to pick up and relocate my family. And that just wasn't a possibility. So I actually work at the local community college now in St. Louis, doing the same type of stuff that I was doing at the park. Very transferable skills. I get to interact with lots of different people across many campuses because we have 8 different locations we operate at. So I will tell you the things that I miss the most about the park is you're getting to interact with people that are having, probably some of them are having the best day of their lives, right? Or something has happened and you have the opportunity to make it better, to fix it. I miss that aspect greatly. I will tell you, it was only in the last couple months that I've finally come to terms that I'm probably not going back to the park or, anything like that anytime soon. And it hit me once I came to but it's taken me up until this time. So it's been a little over 3 years since all that happened. So, you know what? I've been there. I'm here to support. If I can do anything for you all, read resumes, just be here to listen. That's what I asked Matt about. I will tell you, Matt was one of the first people that reached out to me when I posted when I was laid off from Six Flags 3 years ago, and offered support. And so when he posted about this, I'm like, I want to get on here like everybody else, with everybody and just say, hey, I'm here to support you all. I've been there. I've done that. And I recognize a couple of the faces here. Amy from Ames is one I remember for sure. So anyway, if I can do anything for anybody, please feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. Really appreciate that. And that perspective of, going outside the industry, also doing what you have to do for your family, I think is really, really critical. Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's go to Susan R. Susan Rude.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry to hear all of these stories, but as a recruiter who also has been laid off at one point, I know that you can reinvent. And when I'm speaking with people, I always ask them first, what do you enjoy doing and what do you want to do more of? And from that, you can build a whole different trajectory. And I think a few people have mentioned about coming into adjacent industries, bringing their skills into other places that will benefit the new team. But also, again, they're bringing with them that knowledge. It is uncomfortable because you're used to certain things, but you can expand past that. So let me back up for a second. I started my career at WDI as a show ride blue sky engineer many, many moons ago, and worked for Universal. My husband is a consultant in the field on the tech side, so I thought I would be working on the tech side right now. I do play in technology, but also recruit for creative. I recruit on a as requested basis, and I've worked with some of the different companies in the industry. Again, more on the content on the creation side. I haven't done a ton in operations, but I have done some. And I also wanted to let you know that part of what I did is I worked for World Surf League, who was building one of the very first surf parks. And while you guys probably have been participating in with companies that have built surf parks, they usually pull people from operations that understand what a guest experience is, that understand what ticketing is, understand what preventative maintenance is. World Surf League had none of that. They were just like, build us this wave. So bringing in people to that project that could also help someone who hasn't been on the operating side before was really a tax for a lot of us because we have so much knowledge already, and you're suddenly dealing with people who don't know that. But also that's your value. Your value is helping other people see stuff that they can't normally see. So I'm going to keep it super short, but you can ping me on LinkedIn. I talked to Matt a little bit. I've helped quite a few people pivot. I pivoted myself. I was, after 10 years on the creation side of theme parks, I worked in publishing, running the publishing groups for a couple large video game companies, right? So that makes sense, right? And then went into recruiting, and I so much miss being on a project team myself, but giving other people the opportunity that I had is really where I focus. And so I have a couple tips and tricks that I keep repeating to everyone, and I'm happy to share that with you. Just remember, you are going into a foreign country where they have different cultures and languages and habits that you have. So going into a job search is something where you kind of have to learn, how do those people operate that you're going to be speaking to? And you may not already know it. You probably don't think about where they're coming from. So that's part of what I help, or I like to think that I can help with the transition, is when you know, okay, here's where that person is coming from, you will adapt and then make that connection and grow from there. But it is doable. I know it's very, very painful, but it is doable, and it's a time of positive discovery, I hope. So easy to ping on LinkedIn. And if you connect to me on LinkedIn, you can also see my network, which is pretty broad, again, on the creation side. And I'm going to put the name of a website in the chat that is an industry website. If you don't already know it, it's a volunteer thing that these guys are doing. And there's more of these popping up where they're just putting jobs in. And they're saying, hey, this studio is hiring, again, a little bit more on the creation side. But again, it's our industry, and you are going to see more companies there that maybe you thought, oh, I didn't know that they might need somewhat of my expertise. And so just to broaden your awareness. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. And, I'm here to help if I can. I support the industry.
Excellent.
So we're in the industry.
Yes. Right? Wonderful. Thank you for that, Susan. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. All right. Sherry Kress, you're up. If you're able to join.
Hey guys, I'm just going to talk for a second. Because I was not a member of the some of these faces I know. Hi, how are you? I wasn't in the last thing, actually, in 2022, I believe it was. I was essential during COVID and then became non-essential shortly thereafter. I was one of the ones that did get the hourly hire and then got moved up, and then after time, of course, it was time they wanted to demote me. This was a while ago. I was lucky enough that I was raised by some great people. A lot of you guys may know them. I know the ones of you like Bryant and Frank, but Monica Pierce is an amazing human being. And to follow her, I went to work under Barbara Bruce, who's extremely well respected. For those of you, I think there are a couple of you that know her. And then with Nathan Witt, and we still are a team. So essentially the thing that I would like to back up what was being said is I'm a recruiter. I moved into recruiting, which, I love people. That's my thing. And I lucked up to get another family equally as fantastic as a family as I had from the park, and equally as supportive here. And, I know they always tell you in HR, don't call it family, but I really do feel that way about this company. The biggest thing that I'll say as a recruiter, number one, I'm here to help. We have 8 offices from pretty much the East Coast, but there are a couple placements we've done in Ohio and such. And in this field, it's recruiting for construction and industrial. Well, I feel like knowing the amusement park life, safety is extremely important. So that's one of the big things that helps of knowing some of the stuff here. I'm here to support, as they said. I'm here to help you with any kind of resumes I can help you out with. We have positions open. And the big thing I think I want to revert back to what Stacy was saying is you do get kind of lost of how do I translate those skills from the amusement park outside of the amusement park industry. That's not to say you don't love it, have a passion for it. About every 2 months, me and several of us meet and have lunch together. So we all have a passion for it. And I understand how devastating this can be. And I understand how hard it is because you did have that family and that fun along the lines of that too, of being in there and some people growing up in the industry, but it can translate outside of there. That's the biggest thing I can give you to help with. It can translate. One of the classics that we have here is I have people come in and say, well, I'm in management. Monica asked me when I got promoted to, which Frankie and Brian, you know this, but I was an ops soup in HR. And one of the things Monica said, oh, you got promoted. I was like, yeah, I'm a supervisor. She's like, oh, what? And so I use that and I think about it. It's like, okay, you were a supervisor. Tell me what you supervise, what you learned, what those skills are. And they do translate. So I'm here to help any way that I can. Frank is going to put my business card out there. Do the research at Condustrial. That's what I work for. We do everything from industrial. So I am an industrial recruiter. So my kind of stuff, the way I explain it best is I do the inside stuff and my other team does the outside stuff in construction. So, but I can help you. I'm here to help as best I can.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Sherry. Really appreciate all the support and the help that you're willing to provide. And I just want to mention really quickly, I love hearing all these stories and I don't want to cut anybody off. We had scheduled this to go until 11 o'clock on Eastern time. I'm more than willing to stay on. Frank, I think you have some extra time. So I want to keep hearing these stories. We'll stay on as long as we can. But if you need to jump off, I totally get it. So feel free to go ahead and do that. But with that, let's go to Brad T.
That's you, Bryant.
Oh, Bryant. I'm sorry. Thank you, Frank.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't realize that you said my name.
I think I said it wrong, so that's okay.
I just wanted to come on and be a support factor. I have been in that layoff bunch twice. I started in this industry back in '93. I ended up I was a frontline leader from the beginning, but so I know what it feels to be out there in the park doing the work, putting in the labor. So I want to encourage everybody. I tried to transition out, and so how I transition out is the last time that I was laid off in 2012. I went into security. I saw security at the park, and I went and did security for a small college, and that was how I transitioned there. And I stayed connected with Frank, and we ever said that if we ever move up and get an opportunity to bring the other one up, we would do that. Frank did that for me. He gave me a call a couple of years ago. He hadn't even started the job, and he gave me a call. And it was so awesome the way he done it. And here I am almost a year and a half later in Texas, left South Carolina. Love it. I'm going to retire here. But I do know what it feels like, and didn't have really a big support factor other than a few close friends and that I work with. We all trying to feed off one another and keep moving. So I'm here for any help that I can give, advice, whatever. Just want to be a part of it because it really hurt me too. Because I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear, and it wasn't even me at that moment. So that's too many people, too fast all together. That was too much. Yeah. And I know what that feels like. It hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Especially when that's all you've done and don't really know how to move accordingly. I was trying to raise a family, and it wasn't easy. It was tight. So I just wanted to share that with them down here in Texas. And Texas is very nice. So if anybody want to come to Texas, please do. There's plenty of amusement, plenty of different water parks, Galveston Island, all of it. Just come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank y'all.
Thank you very much for
everything
sharing
you
that.
did.
Yeah, yeah, no, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sarah T, you're up.
I was just typing in case I didn't have time to chat with you guys. LinkedIn is definitely critical. I was never going to leave the theme park world, and I was working at Six Flags for 8 years in HR, and then I was at Sesame Place under SeaWorld, and they recruiter picked up my as soon as I only had LinkedIn for like a couple of weeks, and they're like, "Hey, we have a job for you." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not ready to leave the theme park industry," but the company I work for, think of kind of like Kodak or Color Vision. We do the photo operations at hospitality and tourism locations all across the US. And I was putting it in the chat, like when I think transferable jobs, when I'm recruiting for operations managers just to run the photos, we're at zoos, aquariums, presidential libraries, city experience dinner cruises. These are all types of places where your skills would be super transferable. You run teams, you're all about guest service, you're watching KPIs and profitability, operations side, facility management. If not with a company like us, and we have some roles, that's why I was also scouting to listen to see. I'm like, does anyone work in the West Coast? We need a regional manager. But truthfully, when I look for folks, I'm looking for a theme park and cruise experience because I know if you guys can run a theme park operation, you can definitely run the operation at an aquarium, right? Or just if whatever city you're in, try to see where people go, what types of attractions folks are going to. If you can run a theme park, you can run any operation, guys.
And Sarah, don't you also do like you have like the largest Santa Claus?
I do. We hire over 800 Santas per year. So all through November and December, my morning starts talking to Santa Bob and Santa Tim, and it ends with it. And we also have I was going to put in there too, so seasonal jobs. So let's say you don't have a gig by, October, November, December. We actually have full-time district manager positions that we hire that are like salary roles just for those Easter operations and Christmas operations. It's a wild time. But again, I'm like, it's nothing compared to the theme parks and the things we deal with our employees. So it's super transferable.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that, Sarah. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Justin, you're up.
Hey everyone, I'm probably a new face to most of you guys. I know a few people here. Bryant, I actually work under Bryant at Carowinds, so it's fun seeing him here. My experience in the industry has been very limited because my work history is very limited. But I've been at Carowinds since 2019 with my first job as a ride operator, and had experience as a full-time attraction supervisor. I was in HR as an HR assistant in timekeeping and compliance, and most recently was a scheduler with the workforce management team. Received that position back in February, and then was hit with the layoffs last week as well. So I am currently just in a phase of a reset, personal restructuring. I'm looking for opportunities in administration, workforce management, operations leadership in Carolinas and in Central Florida right now, are where my eyes are at. But it's been tough because it's been, it's a passion project for me, right? Like working in the industry, it's been like this since I was young, and being a part of the Carowinds family for as long as I was comparable to how old I am and spending my entire job history there. It's like the rug got pulled out from under me. It's been difficult, but it's really cool to have such a supportive community in the industry, and my hopes are high for what's next. So.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Justin. And I hope you're hearing the encouragement from the group that, some people have been in the industry for a long time, and you will be too. This is just a little bump in the road. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And by the way, Fury's my favorite coaster. All right. I hope I get this right. Pujitha. Am I pronouncing that right? If you're able to unmute and say hello.
Hi, Matt. You're pronouncing my name perfect. It's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my first video session over here, and I was referred by my IAPA mentor, Logan. And I used to work for Universal, and surprisingly and sadly, I'm being laid off. I did work for their 3 to 5 projects. Like one is for the Epic Universe there. I work for the Dark Universe as a scheduler. and I did my internship with them too. So I'm just looking for new roles and trying to connect with people.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for wanting to reach out and connect. And I mentioned Fury is my favorite coaster. Dark Universe is my favorite part of of Epic Universe. So that's awesome.
I did work for the Monsters Unchained ride too.
Oh, love that.
Like,
Love that ride.
fingers crossed, finding a new job or something.
Yeah. Well, I think I hope that you're finding some new connections on here and you're able to connect with people on here. I think there's a lot of great resources here for you as well. So thank you for joining us. Sarah C is also here.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you, Matt, for everybody that you've got together here. Just a quick thing about me. I started in 1997 at the St. Louis Park. It was my first job out of high school, and it just kind of clicked with me. And what I thought would just be like a 1 or 2 year thing eventually became my whole career up until this point. I unfortunately got laid off last Tuesday. I've kind of already gone through all of the different roller coaster of emotions, and I'm just looking to see what's out there. I've loved Six Flags, but I'm seeing and learning from all of you that there are different opportunities, and I'm just excited to see where I land next.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that and for being here, of course. Really appreciate that. All right. Looks like we have Robbie also. All right, Robbie, if you are able to join, go ahead and put something in the chat, or if you can do that, and then we'll make sure we get back to you. Danny is here. It looks like Danny's iPhone is on the call.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I first want to say thank you so much for putting this together. Sorry, I'm a little emotional because I'm going through a tough phase right now dealing with this situation. It affected me so much and it kind of like hurt my heart. But I actually started out at Carowinds back in 2009. And I recently just was able to work my way up very quickly. I started out as a RISE operator and then worked my way up to like RISE area supervisor. And then I did a little bit of that and then worked my way up to RISE senior ops. And then I did that for a while, did some office jobs, and then I recently got promoted to area manager of park services last year. And I got laid off last week on Wednesday. It's been very, very tough because I love this industry. I have given over 13 plus years of my life to this job, and to see it ripped away from me, it was very heartbreaking. I'm really trying to just get my thoughts and emotions and everything together to get through this tough time. But I really do appreciate you guys for doing this. Really do. Thank you.
Absolutely, Danny. And I appreciate you sharing the call or sharing your story and, letting those emotions out. And I think you've got 25 people on the call that you can reach out to and share that story in a deeper way and be able to share some of those emotions. So please feel free to reach out and don't forget that you do have a big network and that we're all here to support you. So thank you so much for being here. Kenneth, haven't spoken to you for a while. There you are.
Hi everyone, I'm Kenneth. Good morning. It's good evening on my part of the world. I'm a Pacific Ocean away. I'm dialing in from Manila, Philippines. I'm just here to support you guys. Matt has been a mentor, really. I was part of his POC University team, the startup team. I'm in the APAC region. You're not alone. It's also happening here. But as a group, as an industry, we're in the business of fun. But obviously, it's not always fun to be in the business of fun. But obviously, with this layoffs, we'll get through this. I'm just here to support you guys. APAC and EMEA, there might be opportunities for you. in this region. Also, I'm doing consultancy work for several parts here. So just reach out. I've typed in my LinkedIn in the chat group. So there. And thank you, Matt, for putting this together.
Of course.
That's one, guys.
And thank you for being here, Kenneth, from across the world. And I think that's another thing to consider if you are open to relocating. You know, I think that's another set of doors that can open if you're willing to do that, and you're able to do that with your family situation. So again, Kenneth, thank you for joining us. Let's see, we have iPhone 44 is here.
Is that one of Elon Musk's children?
It's on their birth certificate. Yeah, so either Robbie or iPhone 44, if you're able to unmute and say hello. If not, that's okay. We will continue on, but I wanted to make sure we got to everybody. All right. Well, that actually does bring us to the kind of the last bit of our. Oh, we got one more person joining. Raquel, if I'm saying that correctly. If you're able to unmute and say hello. Okay. Well, Frank, I wanted to turn it over to you for a second. Was there anything that you wanted to say just in relation to what we've heard today?
I just wanted to say that we've heard a lot of stories, and the devastation is real, but the reality is we truly are better together. I'm encouraged because there were some recruiters on the call. There were people who were ready and willing to help. I mean, having Amy here who is like that's crazy for her to be here and supporting our industry the way that she does, and all of you guys. So I want you to know that what you're feeling right now, it is valid, it is real, and we stand in it with you. I had the very fortunate ability to join this industry in 2004, and I've been in it ever since, and I've fallen in love with it, and I never want to leave. So going through a situation like this, I just could not imagine it. I literally could not imagine it. So please take advantage of everything that was said, every person that showed up, every person that put their information in the comments, in the chat box. Please reach out. Somebody even said that they got every interview they had was because of a connection and not because of an application. That's huge. That's the world that we live in now. And you have people that are ready and willing to do everything that they can. When I text Matt it was 5 o'clock in the morning where I was, I didn't even think twice about it. I sent the message and I was like, oh, it's kind of early. I'm sorry. And he responded right away like, no, I was having the same thought. So there are people that want to support, that want to help. Grieve however you need to. Don't let anybody tell you how long you can, but just know that there are resources and we are here. And even after this call, if you need to call me and you just need me to sit on the phone and breathe with you, I'm available. But this industry is what it is because of all of you. And I'm grateful that you came and people just offered and shared their stories.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that, Frank. And I would just add one quick thing that when it comes to networking, the best piece of advice my wife gave me about networking was, she says, it doesn't matter who you know, it's who knows you. You know, so yes, you can put yourself out there, but if you're not connecting and making the kind of those two-way conversations, I think it's a better way to kind of approach to make sure that people know who you are and what you bring to the table as much as you know them. So I think that's a really important piece of advice. So with that, we'll, I guess, close off our our call today. We'll make sure that everything that got put into the chat is sent out to everybody that was here. And if there's anything else that Frank or I can do, or anybody else on the call, please feel free to reach out. We're here for you. If there's other resources that you think of, feel free to post those on LinkedIn, and Frank and I will do our best to make sure those get out to everybody else. So thank you so much, everybody, for your time today, and your support of the industry. And of course, everybody who is going through the process, like Frank said, know that you're not alone.
Thanks, you guys. This was
Thank
great.
you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. Start my day.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Stacey.